Hey everyone. Oh, we're live. We're live. Hi, it's Peggy McCall. Welcome to the Power Session. As you can see, I'm sitting here in my backyard on this spectacular day. It is a gorgeous day, and I managed to set myself up out here with the help of my husband. We've got an extension cord, my laptop's out here, and I'm going to be walking you through a special session that I decided to do for you on how to properly and effectively create a Power Life script. What's a Power Life script? It is the one tool that has made the biggest difference in my life. It is the thing that when people say to me, what is the one thing that you've done that's made the biggest difference in your life? And bam, that's easy. It's my Power Life script. So when I say that, people will ask, well, what in the world is it? And how do I get one, or how do I create one? So that's what we're going to do. This webinar has been designed to walk you through the effective way. And I say effective because I've seen people, and I've certainly been in this experience myself, where I've actually done things that actually sabotage success. So I'm going to show you the proper way of creating this tool and using this tool that will get you the results that you're looking for, the results that you desire. And I'll talk to you about how this technique works on anything and everything. The technique that I'm sharing with you has helped me to manifest a beautiful home, a beautiful cottage on the water, a second home that we own, my two vehicles. I have a Mercedes and I have a Jaguar, my wonderful marriage with my wonderful husband who's sitting in the kitchen right now, probably listening to me, and my great health, my wonderful business, the amazing clients that I'm blessed to serve, the opportunities that I have. I remember, just stop for a moment here. I remember it was back in March this year. I was in Kona, Hawaii, and my husband came with me. And I went to Kona, Hawaii to contribute at an event that Bob Proctor does called the 1% Club. And this is, oh my goodness, this is a high-end program that Bob offers. And this program, the tuition to go is quite significant. And Bob has me come and I address the audience. And what am I teaching at this very, very high-end event? I'm teaching this technique that I'm sharing with you right here, right now. Well, as Bob was introducing me, he was saying some things in his introduction. Things like, Peggy McCall has been a friend of mine for many years. He met me almost 40 years ago when I was working in a company in Toronto, where I had a job that I wasn't happy with, where I was quite miserable with every part of my life. I was in debt, I wasn't healthy, I was going through different surgeries, my relationships were a mess, and it was Bob Proctor that really opened my eyes to all these techniques. Anyway, so while Bob's doing this introduction, he's saying things like, Peggy McCall is not an employee of Proctor Gallagher Institute, but she is the only person that we actually bring in and teaches at almost all of our events. And I do. I teach at the Matrix event. I met some of you there. I teach at the 1% Club. I teach at his Paradigm Shift event. I'm actually teaching at the Thinking New Results Consulting. So why am I saying that? I'm not bragging. The reason why I'm saying that is it's in my Power Life script. I scripted it. So it makes me laugh and giggle, as it will for you too, when these things start to happen in your life, because you declare it. It's like you're demanding things from the universe. But how you make that request, the words that you use, the language that you use are absolutely critical. So that's what I want to give you guidance on today. Now, what I want to check with is, I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can see my screen. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Looks like we've got all kinds of people. Annie's on the line, and Kevin's here, and Michelle. I know Gregory's here. Adriana's here. Oh, look at this. We got people from all over the world. Tina's on the line. Wonderful. So how's the sound? Is it good? Can you hear me okay? We can hear you, Peggy, says Leslie. Awesome. Hey, good to see you here, Leslie. Super. Great, great. This is fun. It's fun to see. It's fun to be doing this with you. All right, great. Thanks, Callie. I appreciate you. And now I know some of you have some questions that you'd like me to address. Hi, Denise. All right, great. Perfect as it is your backyard view. Thanks. Yeah, I'm really excited. Hey, Holly's there too. Hey, Holly. I see Sandra's on from Facebook Live. Elsie's here. Gabriella. Wonderful. Okay, Adriana, thank you. Thank you. Mary, hey, Mary, it's my friend Mary. Nice to see you here. All right, now, Mary, I suspect you've got that in your script too, that we're friends. Okay, guys, just wanted to make sure that you're here. Now, here's what I'm committed to you, and I want to make sure that you're committed to me as well. So I'm committed. Like this technique is so incredibly powerful. As you know, it's completely transformed my life, completely transformed my life. Holly's on Facebook right now. Holly, you and I met over 20 years ago. You know, even 20 years ago where I was and how my life has transformed so much. So I'm committed to give to you the best of what I've got. All right. I'm giving you the best of what I've got in this segment. I'm going to ask that you commit to me to be on board, to stay with me right to the end. We're not going to be that long. We'll be maybe an hour together, max. Okay, I'm going to address all your questions as well, but I want you to shut off all other technology. Now, I know some of you are on Facebook Live, but I just really, really want you to commit to being fully present in this experience. Okay, can I get you to commit to that? Can I have a heck yeah, Peg? Type it in the chat roll there. Type it on. Hey, Alicia's on as well. Give it all, Peggers. Oh my God, Anders is here too. Okay, great, great. All right, perfect. Well, thank you, guest number 429. You look fabulous too. All right, great. So Francesca says yes. Absolutely, says Tina. Heck yeah, says Denise. Be the best hour ever, says Lisa Marie. Yes, says Bridget. Yes, 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 yes. Full attention, Annie. Ariana's all on board. Awesome. Okay, great. 3 thumbs up from the Holly. All right. Thanks, guys. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Now, here's what I also suggest that you do. I'm glad for you to be on the call as well, May. Thank you for being that all over that. Okay, here's what, now I know some of you, like I can see some of you that are on the call right now have been in my programs before, and some of you are in my private mentoring as well. So you know what I'm about to talk about, but you may hear something in the next hour that's just a subtle distinction that could make a big difference for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you some guidance. Hey, Steph, good to see you here too. All right, so I really want you to pay attention. Get a pen and a piece of paper. Take some notes, okay? Because I'm constantly working with people. This morning I was on the phone with one of my private mentoring clients, and she was telling me about an experience that she had using her Power Life script and how she was experiencing emotions called anxiousness. All right, so I want to talk to you about what does that mean and how do you deal with that, right? So she's going to send me her script, and I told her, I said, when I'm working with my private clients, when we're doing private work together, I'll have my private clients send me, I'll say, email me your script because I want to look at it. I did this the other day with Mike, and hey, Igor's on. All right, great. I look forward to talking to you in a little while, Igor. Anyways, I was working with my client, Mike, the other day. And I had said to Mike, like, I'm looking to see your Power Life script. Like, I encourage all of my clients to do this technique. They don't all do it, but many of them do. And you know why they do it? Because they want the results, right? So they're investing in themselves. They're investing in their education. They're investing in really being fully involved in their growth. Because frankly, if we're not getting better, we're getting worse. So we got to be on that side of continually focused on our improvement. Because if you're not, you're going to be getting worse because nothing stays the same. So Mike wrote his script. I said, Mike, I want you to commit to me to write your script in the next 24 hours. All right. It's not going to take that long. You'll actually be amazed on how quick you can do this. So I'm going to continue the story of Mike. But before I do, let me ask you guys, hey, William's on the call too. Great. Okay. So Lynn Face here. Wonderful to see you here. Okay, guys. Now, you that are on the call, either on live, Melanie's here too. Good to see you, Mel. Mel Bell, baby. All right. So, okay. So I'm going to ask you to also commit. Now, if you're willing to do this, if you're willing to follow through, and I'll explain how to actually write this Power Life script. If you're willing to follow through this, yes, you can watch this later. Somebody just asked, the battery's dying. Okay, good. Well, not good that your battery's dying, but anyways, if you're willing to do this, I'm going to ask that you create your script in the next 24 hours. Are you going to commit to me to do that? I'll tell you, it could take you as little as 20 minutes. All right. Can you do that in the next 24 hours? Just say yes. That's what I'm looking for. You could say heck yeah, or totally on board with doing that. Mel, I want you to do it as well. I see you on Facebook Live over here. Thumbs up. I'm seeing some thumbs up over there. Okay. So do it in the next 24 hours. Now, if you are, okay, awesome. Okay, great, great, great. Riza's on there too. Great. Okay. Tina says yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. Now, some of you may have already created. Thank you on the Facebook Live. Some of you have already created your Power Life script. I suspect you already have one. Yes, I will, says Denise. All right, perfect. Now that's a sign of commitment. I know you will. I trust you guys. I totally trust that you're going to do this. Now, some of you have already written your script. Now, if you've already written your script, what I'm going to ask you to do, hey, John and Jan are there. Awesome. Miss you guys. It's been a while. What I'm going to ask you to do is, even if you've already done a Power Life script before, I'm going to ask that you review it, all right? Because I know UC's on here. UC already has one. He uses that every single day. Hey, Jacqueline. Hi from DC. Tarina's on the line as well. Awesome. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. Do it in the next 24 hours. Next 24 hours, I'm going to ask that you create your script. Okay, so let's go back to basis. What in the world is a Power Life script? Those words, Power Life script, is the identity that I gave this process. Why did I call it a Power Life script? Well, basically, you have the power to create anything in your life. You also have the power to destroy. So take that seriously. You've got the power to create anything in your life. I see the sun's moving, so Peg's going to be in the shade in a minute. I wonder if I can move without disrupting everything. Well, we'll check that out in a minute. All right, so power is really tapping into your power, the power that you have within you to create exactly and precisely what you want. All right, life, it's your life. You're here, you're living it, you're breathing right now. If you're on this call, you're actively taking breaths in and expressing air out, right? So you're alive. So what kind of a life would you love to be living? And then script is you defining and writing out your life as if you're already living it the way you want to live it, okay? So you script it out, you write it out. Now, there's no, well, actually, I was about to say there's no right or wrong way. There's absolutely a right or wrong way to all of this. Now, I'm going to talk to you. I've got some notes here for myself I'm going to refer to just because I want to make sure I cover off every single important step in this entire process of creating your Power Life script. So here's what I do want to say, though. How long your Power Life script is not as important as you being able to connect to the emotion of living the life that you desire. So you've got to think about what's most important. So here's where you start to think. I'm going to move my table. Hold on a second here, guys. I want to get back into the sunshine because we're, whoopsie. Oh dear. Hopefully. Sorry about that, guys. Brian Petty's on the line too. All right, great. Okay, there we are, back in the sunshine. All right, so how long your Power Life script is not as important to you including all aspects of your life that are important. So if your wife, husband, partner is important to you, that would be a part of what you include in your script. If your health, which I would think would be a big priority for you, is important to you, that's going to be something that you're going to include in your script. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you include that into your script. The other point that I want to make is think about all other areas. Now, I happen to be a mother and a stepmother and a grandmother to some wonderful children. I'm also a sister, an aunt, a great aunt. I play many, many roles. My family is priority number one in my life. So my family plays a big role in my script. I also run my own business, and I've been running my own business for quite some time. So are these things, your career, your health, your fitness, how much you weigh, what you look like, how you feel, how much money you have, your investments, anything that you desire, your relationships, everything that's most important to you, this is going to become part of your script. All right? So you script your life out as you would love for it to be. And you use words that are extremely positive. Like, I am so happy and so grateful. So you write out. Now, I'm going to explain how you write it first. Then I'm going to explain how to record it so that when you hear it, it puts you into those emotional states so that you are attracting to you that which you desire. You know, one of the reasons why people don't achieve their goals is because they don't feel as if they have achieved, as if they're living that life. They don't feel it. They don't feel it. They don't believe it. Now, you can create the belief, the identity, the system, the subconscious mind that's necessary in order for you to attract everything that you desire and have it be so easy. Now, if I had known it was this easy many years ago, I probably would have gotten out of my own way. And I remember Bob Proctor saying that to me a number of years ago. He said, Peggy, you are the only one in your way. Now, those are really important words. You are the only one in your way. If there's something that you would love to be experiencing in your life and you are not experiencing it right now, look in the mirror, right? Look in the mirror. Now, don't look in the mirror and judge that person. Don't look in the mirror and curse that person. Don't look in the mirror and get upset with that person. Just look in the mirror, recognize that the power to create is right there. That's really good news. Really good news. There will be time as well. There's going to be a period of time that's going to occur in order for you to actually experience these things that you want to experience in your life. Now, what I freaking love about this technique, and I know you will too, is just how easy it is to manifest your dream life. I mean, it really is easy. You know, I wake up in the morning in our beautiful home. I love our home. Did I mention I love our home? I absolutely love our home. I love my life. Later tonight, my husband and I are going to head on over to our waterfront place. We're going to catch the sunset. We're going to spend a couple days. I've got meetings all day tomorrow. I'm going to work from my cottage. So Alicia, who's on the call right now, when I call you tomorrow for our meeting, I'm going to be calling you from the cottage. Anyways, this is the kind of life. And I'm going to hop into my convertible Jaguar and drive over there. Now, how the heck does all this happen? How is it that Peggy McCall is living this life like she's living? Because of this Power Life script. This is the thing that's made such a big difference. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, oh, is it that easy? You know, it's like, has anyone had those thoughts that, oh, it can't be easy, it needs to be hard, it needs to be more difficult than it is? Have you had that thought? I suspect you have. I used to. As a matter of fact, I thought that success was reserved for other people. It wasn't something that was reserved for me. I didn't believe that I could actually have it. Now, having that belief, how much success do you think you're really going to enjoy? Like none, right? If you think success is reserved for other people, if you think abundance is something that's reserved for other people, you're very likely not going to be enjoying it. And if you're in an experience of upset, frustration, disillusionment, anything that doesn't feel good, you are sabotaging your results. That's why the Power Life script works. So you get very clear on what it is that you want. There was a quote that I saw this morning that said the following: fuzzy targets don't get hit. Fuzzy targets don't get hit. Well, so what does that mean? Well, it's get clear on what it is that you really desire. So to have a nice house, what does that really mean? Even though you may not know exactly what that house is, in your life script, you could be defining or describing how you're feeling when you wake up in the morning, or how you're feeling when you're sitting around the dining room table with your family and your friends and you're celebrating special moments or special occasions. It could be how you feel when you walk in the front door of your home. It could be how you feel when you drive in your driveway. It could be how you feel when. So you describe, even if you don't know exactly what it is, like if you want a home where you're having guests over and you have lots of room for your guests, then have that in there. One of the things that I have in my script where I'm talking about our waterfront home is waking up in the morning and opening my eyes and looking out at the water and seeing the lake. And that's what I do. I lift up my head. I can see the lake right out the window. So I talk about that. Also in my script, I talk about the giant stone fireplace that goes floor to ceiling, and it's high ceilings and posts and beams and all of that. Our cottage that we have on the water isn't like that right now. That's not what we have right now. But I live from the place of that's what I see and that's what I experience when we build it, because we're going to build it. I've scripted it. I've scripted the whole thing. I've also scripted the process and just how easy it is. So Sarah Roberts is also on here, and she says, you taught me about life scripting years ago, Peggy. It works. Manifesting is the real deal. You show us that everything we want is possible. I need to look in the mirror and realize where the power, oh, let's see, how do I get this? Where the power, I see more, lies. Thank you for the reminder. Awesome. Yeah, Sarah's an author. She's created a bestseller. She's created a program. She's living her life. She's slim. She's in great shape. She's helping other people live that life too. And she manifested it. But as you know, it will take some work. I talked about that early. That's why I asked you to commit to doing this technique in the next 24 hours, because it can change your life. So the effort required is in the beginning, is in the writing process of you scripting out your Power Life script. All right. So I'm looking for you to follow through, to you invest that energy in what it is. And the words that you use in your life script. Recently, I saw a post, and it was from a woman named Sheila, and she was talking about something being phenomenal, right? So phenomenal is a word that has specific meaning. We can look at the thesaurus and we can see what the meaning is for the word phenomenal, but what does it mean to you? You don't have to use words that don't have any meaning to you. You can use words that have a deep meaning. Like my Power Life script is something that I have very private and it's very personal. Now it plays all the time. I was playing it this morning while I was getting ready. And what's nice about your Power Life script, and I'll explain to you how to record it and how to play it, is that all you have to do is push play, right? You push play and boom, you're listening to your Power Life script. I get in my car and I can turn on the ignition and I can hear my Power Life script playing because it's connected to my Bluetooth that's on my iPhone. And I've actually synced up my iPhone and my computer so that that MP3 of me talking to me is on my iPhone. Or I go for a walk and I can put on my wireless headset and I can be walking, listening to my Power Life script. Or I get into my other car, my Mercedes, and same thing, Bluetooth's hooked up. I'm listening to it all the time. So what that's doing is Joseph Murphy wrote a book called Your Master Key to Wealth. And he says it's through faith, repetition, and expectancy that you manifest things, right? Faith, repetition, and expectancy. But how do you get the faith? Well, you have to build it. Faith is an emotional muscle that you must build. How do you build it? Well, you build it using your Power Life script. Expectancy, you come to simply know, you know that this is your life. Have you ever heard the expression? I want to ask you guys if you've ever heard this. Type in the, Mary says she just reread that book. Type in the little chat screen here. Have you ever heard the expression, if you hear something over and over again, you will start to believe it? Have you ever heard that before? If you hear something over and over again, you will start to believe it? Well, that's the way the Power Life script works, even if you don't believe it. You know, people talk about affirmations, affirming certain things, affirming things. Well, you could be affirming things all day long, but if you don't believe it, it doesn't mean anything, right? Of course. Thank you for acknowledging that. So what does the Power Life script do? Well, it has you reach that state of belief, of believability. You believe it because you hear it over and over and over again. So the script is, thank you for that. Name of the book again. The book is called Master Key to Wealth. Master Key to Wealth. All right. It's one of your Master Key to Wealth. It's one of my absolute favorite books. It's by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Dr. Joseph Murphy, Master Key to Wealth. I have that book in audio form as well. It's a 60-minute audio. I listen to it all the time. I have that book in my office right now. I read it from time to time. It's one of the best books I've ever read, Master Key to Wealth. Okay, affirmations, Power Life script with music that lifts you up. Sure, you could add music to it as well if that's something that you want to do. Okay, so you script your life. Now, pay attention to this, okay? This is really, really important. You script your life in the present tense as if you're already living that life. You don't talk about we will have or I want to have something. You script it as if it's here already now. Alicia, who's on this call right now, she's on Facebook Live, at least she was a little while ago, talks about, she was telling me the other day, Alicia's been in my programs now for a couple of years, and she was telling me the other day that when she's doing the dishes, she's actually giving her Grammy award-winning speech, right? She lives her life as if she's already a Grammy award winner. So you script your life as if it's already done. Now, I work with a lot of authors. I see Karen's on here as well. Good to see you, Karen. Hey, AJ's here. All right, Alicia's here. And Alicia's an author as well. So I work with a lot of authors, and many authors who have written their books, they want to make them bestsellers. And so to be a best-selling author, you see, I was in my consciousness through my Power Life script, through scripting. I was a New York Times bestselling author long before I actually experienced the reality of my agent calling me and saying, hey, Peg, oh, by the way, it's my agent's birthday today. Hey, Peg, your book made it to the New York Times bestseller list. You are a New York Times bestselling author. I scripted that. I scripted it. It was in my script. Having the waterfront property was in my script. Having the Jaguar was in my script. All of this, my husband Denny, even though I didn't know it would be Denny before I met him, Denny, the relationship that we have was in my script. Now, hey, Carolyn, good to see you here. Another thing that I do, and I suggest that you do in your script, is script out ways that you're connecting to the emotion of what you're saying. So when I talk about my relationship with my wonderful husband, Denny, I talk about Denny and I traveling together, that we travel first class. We stay in the fine. Hey, Pashmina, best-selling author right here on the call. Good to see you here. I talk about all of those things. And I say that Denny and I are always laughing together. We laugh a lot together. That's exactly the words that I use in my Power Life script. We laugh a lot together. So Denny and I, this morning, we wake up and we start laughing. Denny and I truly are laughing a lot together. One of the things that I had in my script, that Denny and I are also enjoying playing golf together. Well, for a long time, my shoulder was cracking every time I swung my driver. Now, for my short game, for smaller swings, my shoulder wouldn't bother me. And I actually haven't golfed in years, but I never lost sight of Denny and I being on the golf course and golfing together. So what was happening with my shoulder? And this is a physical thing, okay? My physical shoulder, I had something called frozen shoulder years ago. And as soon as I got that and realized what it was, I cured myself of it by doing the Power Life script. I just saw myself with movement in my shoulder, easy movement in my shoulder, raising my arm high above my head. But at the time, it was frozen, right? I couldn't move. And I was in chronic pain, 24 hours, 7 days a week in pain. It was brutal. I had never experienced anything like that before. And I got to be honest, it was not an enjoyable experience for me. So what I did was I saw myself out of the pain. Let me just move back into the sunshine here. All right, there we go. I'm just going to keep moving, keep the sunshine. There we go. All right, so I scripted that. My shoulder was great. Both shoulders were great, feeling good again. And what would happen is I would swing the golf club, and my shoulder would crack and be like crack, crack, crack. And it was like, oh my goodness. And I remember one time my husband and I went out on the golf course after I got the ability back in my shoulder, and we went out on the golf course and my shoulder was cracking like crazy. And he's like, oh, how can you stand that? And it was actually upsetting. It didn't hurt, but it was upsetting. It sort of flipped my stomach. Sounds like, I don't know, something cracking. And I did go to the doctor, and I went for one session of physio, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to see myself. I'm going to script it. I'm going to see us out on the golf course. And we're back out on the golf course. And strangely enough, my shoulder doesn't bother me at all. It's perfect. So the Power Life script can work with anything. I remember years ago when Nick Ortner had released the book, or not the book, he had released a movie on tapping solution, and he originally released it and called it Try It On Anything. And that's what the Power Life script is. Try it on anything, anything. So if you're having challenges in your life, if you're in a situation that's uncomfortable and you want to fix it, you want to see something, you've got to see, hey, Banafshe, you've got to see the end result. You script it. You script it. You script your life only. Hey, Steve's here. Steve, I was listening to Steve Eels from Australia. I was listening to your song this morning. That's amazing that you're here. I love it. Okay, so Gabriella is asking a great question. Gabriella is saying, in the script, can I write healing health for my father? He has cancer. Absolutely. Absolutely. See your family members as healthy, as happy, as vibrant. I remember back in the 80s, this is how I actually met Louise Hay. Back in the 80s, my father was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And the prognosis wasn't good. He had prostate and bladder cancer, and they had to remove his bladder and remove his prostate, and the prognosis wasn't good. And so I started to study Louise Hay. And as you know, Louise Hay passed away just 2 weeks ago. She really, really brought so much to this world. And I know we're going to miss her, but she's left her legacy. Like I started studying her over 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago, my father had cancer at the time. And of course, I'd been studying Bob Proctor at that time. And I knew the power of the mind. I knew the power of the ability to heal as well. And so I got my dad involved in that. I got involved in that. That's how I was drawn to Louise Hay. So yeah, script it. Like I have lines in my script about my son. Now my son's almost 25 years of age. I have a grandson who's 6. And I have in there how happy they are, how my son's career is phenomenal. He's earning great money. He owns his home. He's got a great life. He's really happy. And every once in a while, you know, I talked to my son yesterday. I talked to him 4 times. And I'll just say, hey, you know, are you happy? And he's like, of course, Mom, I'm really happy. Now, I'm not saying that I'm controlling his life, but we are energetic beings. We're giving energy to everything. So can you look at the power of prayer, right? With what happened, I was reading something online this morning that it was Lisa, actually, Lisa Larder, who was talking about the prayer circle that she put together. She has a home in Florida as well as a home up here in Canada, and talked about the power of prayer. This is energy in motion. That's what a Power Life script, it's you're scripting what you want. You're focusing only on what you desire and you're staying away from what you don't want. So when you're writing your script, you're writing it like Steve, you know, write it as if your music is world renowned, incredibly popular. You sold millions and millions of copies of your music. It's making a positive difference in the world. People are loving your music. Talk about what you're seeing and you're hearing and you're experiencing from people responding to your music, the songs that you're writing, the difference that they're making. And I know that's something that's really important to you. All right, Greg Hammond says, Gregory says, gratitude. Louise Hay has blessed us with her legacy. You're doing the same great work, Peggy. I'm creating the same powerful work through my books, music, and teaching. Yeah, you are. I love that. Yeah, energy is emotion. Okay, so Troy is asking the question, how long in the future should you write your script? As long as you want. Like sometimes we don't know when it's going to happen. I write my script as if this is the way I'd want to be living my life right now. Now, a few minutes ago, I mentioned that Denny and I own a waterfront cottage. We have this place on the water. Now, what I see there is I see a bulldozer coming in and I see us building this beautiful place with high ceilings and post and beams and a stone fireplace, you know, doors that open up right onto the deck from the master suite where we can walk out. We're seeing the water. We wake up in the morning and every window in the place has water views. When is that going to happen? I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's what I see and that's what I live. Now, the process, we started the process. We're showing the universe that we're serious about that. But what you script is it's already done. All right. You script it as if it's already done. That's what you do. Now, I know there's been some questions that have been coming in as well. I'm going to go back. I'm going to find those questions. But this is what I really want you to understand when you're scripting. Do not be concerned about when it's going to happen. Do not be concerned about how. This is really, really a big deal. Do not be concerned about how it's going to happen. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. Your responsibility, though, is to see it, to experience it, to feel it as if it's already here now. That's why the Power Life script works, because it causes you to have that. That's why it's so freaking, excuse the language, easy to do. It really is easy. It's so bloody easy. So how do you do that? I declare this over his life. Gabriella says, from Dr. Joseph, 42 affirmations, heal others remotely. Awesome. Okay, so maybe it's the same kind of thing. Can you use affirmations in your script? Absolutely. Now, there's a Patanjali quote that's out there that says, dormant forces come alive and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever imagined yourself to be. Now, the reason why I know that quote off by heart is because I use it in my Power Life script. So what's in my Power Life script? Here's what I did. I took that Patanjali quote and I modified it to use in my Power Life script. So here's what I have. Dormant forces have come alive and I am discovering myself to be a greater person by far than I ever imagined myself to be. So I've taken his quote, I've modified it, and I incorporated it into my life script. So can you use affirmations as part of your script? Sure, if you make them about yourself, if you make them about present moment, if you make them in the positive way. So you've got to be cautious not to use any negative words whatsoever. No negative words whatsoever. So you don't talk about your debt. being eliminated. Because if you're talking about your debt being eliminated, what are you going to create more of? What are you giving more energy to, right? You're giving energy to debt. So, okay, so I get this question all the time from people. So if you're in a position where you have debt and you're not financially in a place that you're really happy with right now, then what would you love? Would you love to own your home outright? Would you love to have millions of dollars in investments accounts that are providing a profitable return? Would you love to have the ability to buy anything you want whenever you want? You always have plenty of money to do whatever you want to do. That was actually a quote that I learned from my wonderful friend, Gay Hendricks. Gay Hendricks said that he and Katie, many, many years ago, realized that they didn't have plenty of money to do whatever they wanted to do. They didn't have any money to do what they wanted to do. But what they desired was to have money to do what they wanted to do. And they decided to declare that to the universe. And instead of just saying, we have money or we have money to do what we want, they said, we always have, always. I always have plenty of money to do whatever I want to do. One of the great teachers that I learned from is Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard says that you ask yourself this question: now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? You want to ensure that when you're scripting your script, your Power Life script, that you're including how you feel. All right? How do you feel? Sarah says, curious on how we stay grateful for all that we have right now while asking for different. All right, that is a really, really important question. Gratitude will cause you to experience more good in your life. So you give thanks for what you have, and you can give thanks for what you desire. I give thanks all the time for our beautiful waterfront home that we have on the water. Now we have the property, we have the cottage, we have the means, we have the ability. We're going to do it, but I give thanks for it now. At the same time, I'm very grateful for the place that we have, because it has provided us the opportunity to build what we desire right on the water. So you give the gratitude for what you have right now in a way that does support the end game, as if you already have that as well. Okay, do you see what I mean? It's like when we were in a previous house, the one before this one, I was grateful for that home. Even though I knew in my heart it wasn't the home that Denny and I would end up with, and it wasn't the home that we both deeply, deeply loved, I knew that it provided the way. The reason why we are where we are right now was because we moved to Manotick, the town that we're in, and which led us to be where we are today. Give thanks for all of it. I know there's some people that are in jobs that they don't love, they're not happy with. Give thanks for that job. Give thanks for it. Why? Because it puts you into a good feeling. Now, would that be in your script? Probably not. Because if that's the job or the career that you're doing right now, and it's not something that you want, you wouldn't script it as if you're living it, because you're giving it more energy. You're going to stay there. So what do? You script, like, let's say you want to have a business of your own. The business of your own, you're going to script it as if I'm so happy and grateful to run my own business. It's highly successful, serving people in only positive ways. I have such happy clients that love me, and I love them. I love coming up with wonderful ways to serve them in so many great ways. And you can talk about your business generating profitable dollars, millions of dollars in profit. Talk about profit too. If you're going to have a business as well, talk about the profit margins that you have. That's really, really important. Dan Matthews says, this is so true. The universe doesn't recognize negative words, only the subject of that intention. I love it. I love it. You've got to really focus on what you want. So recently, when I had one of my clients send me his script, and he's in a private mentoring, so don't go send me your script unless you're a private mentoring client. We've scheduled a call together. So this client is in a private mentoring capacity, and he sent me his script. And I noticed that in the script, now I want you to really listen to this. In the script, he was talking about him being able to do certain things. He's able to fly all over the world first class. He's able to do these things. But that doesn't mean you're doing them. Saying you're able to do them doesn't mean you are doing them. So it's like, would you like to be flying first class? Would you like to be traveling the world whenever you want, go wherever you want? Yes, then say you are doing it. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am traveling first class whenever and wherever I go. Define it, describe it, be very clear on what that is. Now, another thing to focus on in your life script, if you know you have If you know, okay, I'm going to answer your question in a second, Anders. If you know that you have a paradigm, let me give you an example of that. Here's how your script can help with that as well. I'm going to give you an example of that. Then I'm going to go to Anders' questions. And I know Callie has a question. And there was another question asked. Michelle has a question as well. So I'm going to answer Anders' question. I'm going to answer Michelle's question. I'm going to answer Callie's question. If any of you have questions, I'm going to answer those as well. So I'll give you an example of that. A number of years ago, I recognized that I had a deep-rooted belief, excuse me, a paradigm based on deserving, all right? Based on deserving. What do I mean by that? I noticed that I was feeling that I didn't really deserve love. I didn't really deserve to have a happy marriage or a happy relationship. This is long before I met Denis. So I noticed that it was there. So what did I do? In my Power Life script, I modified it. Now, you may end up modifying your script 100 times. You may modify it every day until you get it to a point where it feels really, really good. All right. I'm always modifying my script based on a new level of awareness because I'm always working on getting better, right? I'm always studying. I'm in the study. I'm in the teaching. I'm in the study. So I'll modify my script. I'll notice certain things about my script because I'm listening to it every day. So what I did was in my script, I talked about that I am deserving of love. I talked about my success being absolutely guaranteed. My happy marriage with my husband is absolutely guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. I deserve success. I deserve abundance. I deserve my wonderful life. I deserve my wonderful friends. I deserve my happy marriage. So those things are in my script and they're written like that. So you can also look at, we all have paradigms. You can look at your paradigms. You can look at the issues that you've noticed that are there for you. Shed a little light on them, become aware of what those paradigms are. How do you know what the paradigms are? Look at your life, look at your results. You'll know what your paradigms are. If you're not experiencing abundance, if you're not experiencing love, if you're not experiencing success, if you're not experiencing health, weight, anything that you desire, it's coming from your paradigm, right? You've got to see yourself. You've got to know it to be true. So you script it. You add that in your script. So Anders is asking, how long is your script altogether? How long is my script? My script is 19 pages long. Now, because I've been doing my life script in this Power Life script exercise now for 23 years, I've been working on a long time. I have a lot of things in there, just as I mentioned to you earlier, like the Patanjali quote. I'm moving out into the sun again, guys. Sun's moving, moving, moving. Anyways, like the Patanjali quote, and I add things. So if I'm studying and I'm reading something and I'm reading Neville Goddard or Joseph Murphy or I'm listening to Bob Proctor and I hear something or I say something, I'll add it to my script. So very rarely do I let things go. Now, not that it has to be 19 pages long, and my recorded script is about 24 minutes in length. So when I listen to it, it takes about 24 minutes for me to listen to it. Okay, so we've got some questions here. By the way, guys, are you liking this? Are you loving this? Is this valuable to you? Are you really enjoying it? Let me know, okay? I just want to know. We're going to stay on the line for longer because they've got some wonderful questions that are coming in. And I want to make sure I address all your questions. But I want to know, are you guys here? How often do you re-record and do your different sections? I re-record. Thank you. Okay, great. Wonderful. I re-record my life script when I feel the need to re-record my life script. So sometimes it's once a month. Sometimes it's every couple weeks. It depends. It depends on what's going on. So thank you. All right, great, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so we've got some questions that have been coming in, and I want to address these questions. I'm going to go right back up to the top. Okay, so let's see if I can get up to the top. There we go. Okay, good, good, good. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I know Michelle had a question. I got to see if I can find it. I know they sort of roll off my off my screen here. Okay, cool. All right, Michelle says, oh, all right, great. Looking forward to okay, she didn't have a question. She was just making a comment. Okay, thanks, Michelle. Appreciate it. All right, Lisa Marie says, I love you and always have. I am surrounded by corporate bullies. Oh, yeah, this is a great question. I'm surrounded by corporate bullies at the present moment to pay bills, and I'm producing a documentary regarding my experiences. Sounds like you're making lemonade out of lemons. My question is, how do you continue to block out toxic people who are insistent when attempting to drag you down on a daily basis? I look forward to the live stream. I've missed your smile. Thanks, Lisa Marie. Okay, great, great, great. This is a great question. How do you block out toxic people? Has anyone else got that issue? I bet many of you have that issue, right? There's toxicity everywhere. I mean, we live in a very, very negative world. So how do you block it out while these people are attempting to drag you down? And, you know, sometimes it's not even that they're attempting to drag you down. It's just who they are, right? And they probably want you to be in that same club as they are. So you live from your place. You can hear the words. It's almost like, you know, wonk, 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 wonk. They're saying the words, but you don't let it in. You don't let it in. I remember Wayne Dyer saying that he was on a flight one time and there was a flight attendant on the plane, and the plane was supposed to take off and it got delayed. And of course, people are sitting in their seats and they're waiting to take off, and the plane is not taking off, and they keep getting announcement after announcement. And after a couple hours, they decided that everybody had to get off the plane because there was a big bobo with the plane, and they had to get a new plane, and they didn't know how long this was going to take. And of course, people started griping and complaining, and they were not happy about this situation. So Wayne Dyer said that he could see the flight attendant was just like, oh, you know, she was just so upset about it. And he said, what's up? And she said, well, I'm going to have to listen to their whining and complaining as they're all getting off the plane. He said, don't let it in. Don't let it in. Just imagine you've got a plexiglass shield and just smile at them and give them some comfort or whatever, you know, hopefully it won't take long. Give them some words of encouragement. Just don't let it in. So there's a couple different ways that you can handle it. One, don't let it in. Imagine you've got a plexiglass shield. Don't let the negativity in. Even I remember one time being at a Hay House event. I was speaking at this event. I was sitting in the what's called the speakers room at the Hay House event. Louise Hay was there, Sonia Chuckad, Greg Braden, Doreen Virtue, and I was talking to Greg Braden, and someone had asked Greg, what happens when you get those negative reviews about your book? And Greg says, I just don't look at them. Don't give it any energy. If somebody says something, just let it go. It's like an Aikido method of martial arts. Duck and let it go by. Duck and let it go by. Don't give it any energy. Just let it go by. You know what'll happen is people will get tired of that. They're going to get tired of throwing out the negativity, and they won't want to be involved. But you get caught up in your Power Life script. I'm going to talk in a minute about how to record it, because there's a very important way. There's a very distinct way that you record your life script that will have you experience this at a very, very high vibrational level. Okay. So, oh, somebody's texting me. Sure. Okay. There we go. I love multitasking. This is the coolest thing. Okay. Somebody asked, will this be recorded? Oh, yeah, I got that one already. Okay, cool. All right, let's go down to the other questions that are coming in. Now, Callie, I know you had a question here. Let me see if I can find it. There's so many comments here. Hard to find it. Do you think using credit cards for programs is logical and personal growth? Challenge how to couch the question positively. All right, cool. Yeah, I love Francesca. I love that you're asking that question. I think this is a really good question. Let me tell you a story about that, okay? Now, credit cards, you know, give thanks for them. Like, hello, aren't they wonderful things? Like, I bought my boat on my credit card. I thought, cool, I can get all those tens of thousands of points. I remember going into the showroom and I wanted to buy a boat. And I said, hey, can I buy that boat on my credit card? They looked at me like I was weird. You know, first of all, who has that kind of credit available? And I guess that's not a normal occurrence. And they said, yeah, but why would you want to do that? And I said, because I got a free flight out of that. And so, you know, credit cards, they're there for a reason. You know, a lot of people get caught. I had this conversation just yesterday about my son about this. People can get caught in credit card debt. Now, should you invest in a credit card? Now, here's my belief about that. I give thanks for credit cards. I think they're a wonderful thing. Have I had situations where I had accumulated all kinds of credit card debt? Absolutely. Did I go to personal development program after personal development program and just finding another credit card to put it on it? Heck yeah. Why? Because I knew that it was going to contribute to my growth. I give thanks that this money is out there circulating. The bank's using it for their good, I suppose. I don't get upset about it. Not anymore. I used to look at my credit card statement and see those high interest rates. Now think back to the 80s. I mean, they had interest rates in the 20+% point, and it was like scary. And I've been in situations where I had almost maxed out my credit and just ran it right over the top in order to invest in my personal growth. And so grateful that I did, because it gave me leverage, something that got me so dissatisfied, this credit card debt, that I did something about it. You see, there's an expression that goes like this: dissatisfaction will stimulate growth. It will stimulate growth. If you're not happy with your present financial situation, very likely you're going to do something about it, okay? You're going to want to do something about it. So great question. I'm so glad that you asked it. Okay, great. How can we accelerate our manifestation? Guest number 8399 has asked that question. What a great question. How can you accelerate your manifestation? By using this technique, the Power Life script. Script it as if it's here right now. Be very clear on what it feels like now that you're living it. Okay, so I know there's more questions. I'm going to get to those questions as well, but here's what you do next. After you've scripted it, review it, okay? Make sure that your script is written in the present tense. Make sure that you've remembered to include every part of your life that's important to you in that script, as if you're living that life. Forget about the how. Yes, you can have anything. If you want to have multiple properties, write that down. If you want to own your home outright, even though you have no idea how you're going to do that, write that down. If you want to have a fleet of cars, write that down. Write down anything and everything that you want. The universe is there saying yes to everything that you declare that you want in your life. You can truly have everything. You can. Okay, so you script it as if you already have it, as if you're living that life right here, right now. You script it. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm living the most amazing life. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you believe in God, you could say, thank you, God. I remember one time, many, many years ago, my husband got in my vehicle, and of course, my Power Life script's playing. And it plays. Like, I don't shut it off. Like, if my grandson's in the back seat and he's traveling with me, he's hearing me talk to me. And I remember one time my husband had said, wow, there's a lot of God stuff in your script, because I'm saying, thank you, God, and talk about the connection to God and all of that, because that's important to me. And it was funny that he noticed that, right? And I hadn't really even thought about it before. It's just something that's important to me. So as I said, it's what's important to you. All right, Bruce says, hi, Peggy, this information you are sharing is rock solid. Thank you. My advice to your listeners today is to just do it. Shut off your inner judge and critic and get working on your script of things that you want. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you for that. All right. Peggy suggests she knows that I wrote my GPS life script based on her advice. Check her instructions out and print at the back of her book. Darn easy. Love to you and Denny, Peg. Hey, thanks, Bruce. Love to you too. Okay, cool. All right, so Karen says, I could write many pages on each area of my life if I let myself get descriptive. Would you give a few examples of overarching statements that bring in emotions? See, hear, feel together. Okay, great. I'm gonna give you some examples, okay? I'm gonna read from my scripts. That's why I told you guys this was gonna be a little bit longer than normal. So I'm gonna give you some examples in a minute. So thank you so much for asking. And I mean, it's really words that are most important to you, okay? That's really what we're looking to create here. I'm just checking on my little chat roll here and seeing where we are. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Now, let me give you some suggestions. I know there's more questions here. I'll get to them in a minute and address them. Callie had a question. I don't think I addressed Callie's question yet. Let me see if I can find Callie's question. Oh, great. I love the feedback, you guys, by the way. Thank you. This is so exciting for me to see the feedback. Kelly, I can't find your question. Do you mind copying it and pasting it in again, just so I can make sure that I address it? I put it right at the bottom. Okay, Patanjali. Okay, Greg's asking about that. Patanjali. Patanjali, something like that. I think that's how you say it. Patanjali. Patanjali. Look it up online, Gregory. You'll find it, I'm sure. Yeah, Patanjali. Dormant forces have come alive, and I'm discovering myself to be a greater person by far than I ever meant to be. Whatever it is. Anyways, you'll find it. Okay, great. Thanks, Francesca. Appreciate it. You're very welcome. Okay, great. How do you record it? Well, if you have an iPhone, I have an iPhone. I've got my live Facebook thing going on here right now. Oh, good. Callie just put in her question there. I'm going to answer Callie's question actually before we get to how to record it. If we work on creating our life script and find that we might need more time to add more to it, that is better to keep on going with creating what does come up and then add later things. Yeah, absolutely. Get it done, get it recorded, and then you're going to add to it later. All right, great. Don't ask me why paradigm of elevator pitch, I guess. You know what? Igor's saying, I scripted being alone with Peggy in an elevator. Don't ask me why paradigm of elevator pitch, I guess. And sure enough, that was the first time we spoke. Super grateful for that moment. Me too, Igor. You know, that was such a defining moment when I met you, Igor, in the elevator, and you talked to me about what you're doing in the world, because I really got it. You know, very rarely do you have people who understand and can declare just in a matter of minutes what it is that they're doing. Okay, great. So, okay, how do you record it? Here's how I record. I'm going to talk to you about how I record mine. I record mine using something. I have a MacBook. It's my Apple MacBook Pro. And on my MacBook Pro, I have something called QuickTime Player. It's an application, okay? QuickTime Player. So I open up QuickTime Player. It comes with my Mac, and I hit File, Record Audio, all right? And then I save it, all right? That's what I do. Oh, there's a great question right there. Peggy, what if you don't like the sound of your own voice? I think most people have this. Thank you for asking. That is a great question. You're right. Most people have it. And here's what I do. Fall in love with your own voice, because this is even if you don't like your own voice, there's a reason for that. It could be a confidence issue. Okay. It could be a confidence issue, or get someone to record it for you. All right. I've actually, for my private mentoring, I don't do this for anybody and everybody, but for my private mentoring clients, I actually will record scripts for them, but I do suggest they do it for themselves, because you're going to want to revise it. All right, Adriana says she loves her voice. Good. Now, I'm not really a big fan of my own voice either, but you know what? I get past that. Just let that go. Just move past that. This is such a powerful exercise. Just move past it. Let it go. Or you could get someone to record it for you. Now, what I did, I actually wrote a script and I had my husband record it, record it to me. And that's kind of fun. Troy says, if I want to win a contest, do I write, I am a winner, I won the contest? What verb tense? Yes, Troy. Yes, you do. You write it as if you've already won. All right, I'm so happy and grateful that I have won, blah, blah, and just say what it is. I have people doing that for lotteries, right? They're a lottery jackpot winner. So yes, absolutely. Thanks, Jane. All right, I appreciate you. All right, thank you. So QuickTime Player, it's an application on my MacBook Pro that I just open up and I do File, Record Audio. Another way, all right, I'm going to type this in, Audacity. It's a free audio program. You can get it online, Audacity, A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y. It works with Mac or Apple products. It also works with PCs. Okay, so you can use this product, Audacity, download it, and you can record an audio and save the file and listen to it that way. That's another way. Okay, there's QuickTime Player, Audacity, or some other way. If you have GarageBand on your MacBook and you know how to use GarageBand, then use GarageBand. Okay, that's something else that you can use. Another thing that you can use on your, oopsie, I'm just on my Facebook Live just checking it here. Also, on your iPhone, thank you, brain. On your iPhone, you can download something called Viral Loop. Viral Loop, okay? And Viral Loop is an audio program that you can record, and it loops whatever you record, and it just goes on and on and on and on, and just loops your audio recording, okay? So Callie says, when you're writing your ideal life, does it make a difference if you follow up with what you say you desire with the affirmation statements after what's said or before? Does it matter where you place the affirmation statements, regardless of the order of the category of life script? Doesn't matter. Put them anywhere, okay? Put them anywhere. Okay, so when you record it, okay, great. Gabriella says, iPhone app, voice loop, going on and on. Perfect. Okay, when you're recording, thank you for typing that in, Gabriella. I appreciate you. When you record your Power Life script, here's how you do it. You do it with all the enthusiasm in the world, okay? All the enthusiasm in the world. So if you heard mine, if I push play on mine, you'll hear me saying, I, Peggy McCall, am so happy and so grateful now that, and I'll even put in some woohoos and some I'm so happy. And when I'm saying the word happy and I'm saying the word grateful and I'm describing these things, I'm feeling the emotion. I'm catching and connecting to the emotion that I would feel if I am living that. And it's only written in the present tense, okay? So notice the emotion that you're in. Now, quite often, if you stand up, you'll have a lot more energy in your body than if you're sitting down. So stand up while you're recording, okay? Stand up. All right, I'm going to give you some examples now. I'm going to read from some scripts. Let me actually open my own. Now, I'm not going to read my own private personal script, but I'm going to start with mine. Wasn't planning on doing this, but I think you'd probably like to have a little peace of mind. So I'm going to open up my own life script and I'm going to read you some of my own stuff, okay? Opening my kimono. All right, great. Okay, cool. All right, here's what mine says. And as I said, it's 19 pages, so I'm just going to read some of it to you, and I'll just talk about some of the things that are in here, okay? So here's what my life script starts with. My life just gets better and better every day in every way. Now, isn't that a cool thing to think about that for a moment? My life just gets better and better every single day in every way. Something else I want to mention, I'm going to stop here for a moment as I'm about to read to you my own private life script. The language that you use, the grammar, the spelling, doesn't matter. So don't be caught up with, like if someone who's a really good writer had said that, my life just gets better. Well, that's not proper grammar. Don't worry about that. It doesn't matter what the grammar is because you're listening to it, right? Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so my life just gets better and better every single day in every way. I am healthy. I am slim. I weigh a healthy weight and then I say my weight. I am wealthy. I'm a multimillionaire. I am happy and everything in my life is wonderful. I'm very healthy and I'm extremely energetic. I take great care of myself. I eat well. I rest well. I am and I enjoy perfect health and lots of vibrant energy. I am truly relaxed. I am calm. I am wealthy. I am comfortable financially. I am also very happy. I'm grateful for my wonderful life. I am strong. I am powerful. I am radiant. I am happy. I'm joyous. I'm generous. And I am inspired. I'm grateful to easily manifest all of my desires. And I am having fun. I'm a powerful creator of my dreams. I have authentically stepped into my power. And I'm feeling very great. And I'm feeling relaxed. Manifesting is so easy for me, and I am totally grateful. I'm manifesting easily, gracefully, honestly, ethically, legally, joyfully, and abundantly. I'm grateful to do what I love, and I love what I do. I am a wonderful example for others. I do make a positive impact on millions of people, and because of that, I am grateful. All right, so let me just stop here for a moment. Now, there's a lot more, of course, and I get into my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my son. I talk about my business. I talk about my clients. And I'm not even off page 1 yet. What I want to say about what I wrote there is, if you read my Power Life script, you would see lots of repetition. Lots of repetition. You'll hear the word happy often. You'll hear the word grateful often. You'll hear me talking about how much fun I'm having. That is in my script over and over again. And of course, you want to talk about the things that are important to you because you want to impress upon your subconscious mind through repetition, 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 over and over again. I talk about I'm a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. I am grateful. All right, I talk about my hair in my life script. I talk about, here's what I also wrote. God's dream for my life is that I am blessed in such a way that I am a blessing to others. I love this. I'm happy about this. God takes pleasure in prospering me. I take pleasure in being prospered. I take pleasure in being generous with others. I am a grateful person. I give thanks to God every single day. I am one with God, and God is always successful. I'm gratefully living my God-inspired life, totally fulfilled and very happy. I'm ever grateful that God's riches are active, ever present, eternal, and flowing in my life abundantly. God supplies all of my needs now. God supplies all of my son Michelle's needs now. God supplies all of my husband Denis' needs now. God supplies all of my grandson James' needs now. I set my intentions. I seal them with a prayer. I open my heart and I allow God to lead me, to show me, and to bless me. All right, do you see that? Do you hear that? Now, do I talk about being a New York Times bestselling author? God's business is my business. God fills my soul and I radiate love and goodwill to all. Wonderful miracles are happening in my life. These are all the kinds of things that I have in there. I talk about, then I step into the role of being at our home and being in our cottage and how I feel, as I mentioned earlier, when we drive in the driveway. I'm generous with my family, and I surprise my family with wonderful gifts. I did that yesterday, actually. I bought my husband, actually, I gave my son some glasses too, sunglasses, but I surprised my husband with some Serengeti sunglasses that he had lost his when we moved into our home, and I surprised him. Last week, I surprised him with this beautiful mug that talked about, I said, my husband is like wine. He gets better and better with age, and you know how much I love him and appreciate him. I also have the address of our home. I especially love that we own our beautiful home outright, and I have our address in my Power Life script. So put in the address, even if you don't own that home right now, you can put it in there. I'm so happy and grateful to be an Ontario resident. I love living in Ontario. This is where I was born, where I was raised, and I love this province, even though I have lived in other provinces as well. All right, let me go over here. How long is your life script and how often do you listen to it? Bridget asks. Okay, my life script, it doesn't have to be this long. Okay, so we're going to get it into how often you listen to it. My life script is 24 minutes approximately. It's 19 pages in length. You listen to it every single day, at least once a day. It depends on how long it is. I listen to mine more than once a day. And it's easy, right? As I said, this morning I was getting ready and I took my iPhone with me and I pushed play. I pushed play and I listened to it. I can listen to it over and over again. I get in my car. Later, I'm going to be getting in my car. I'm going to be driving out to catch the sunset at our waterfront place. The drive between here and our cottage is about 35 minutes. I'll have it playing in my car. My husband's going to hockey. He's going to meet me there. So I'll be in the car. I'm going to listen to it again. I go to bed at night. I can just put my iPhone beside me. I can either have my cordless phones on or not. And I just push play. I listen to it again. The more you listen to it, the more repetition, the more it's going into your subconscious mind, even if you're not believing it. That's why it works. That's why it's so easy, right? This is the easiest thing you can do, but it's the most powerful thing. People ask me, what's the thing that's made the biggest difference in your life? It's this. It's the Power Life script. So that's how you create it. That's what's most important. Make sure you're writing it out as if you're already living that life right now. Be very cautious of the language that you're using in your script. Record it. So I asked you to write it in the next 24 hours. What I'm going to ask you to commit to right now is record it in the next 48. Okay. It doesn't take long. You may have this done in the next hour. You may say, Peg, I love this. This is awesome. I'm going to do it. You're going to do it right now. And you sit down and you write it within the next 24 hours and then record it. Okay. Commit to me that you're going to record it in the next 48 hours. Okay. All right. So I've asked you to commit to writing it. I'm asking you to commit to recording it. And then I'm going to ask you to commit to listening to it. All right. You got to follow through. Listen, if you're looking to experience success, you've got to follow through. Can you please say how to record an MP3? Thank you. Important call came in, missed how. Okay. Go back, listen to the recording. Okay. Okay. But I'll give you the short version of it. QuickTime Player, open up QuickTime Player. If you have it on your computer, create recording file, create new recording, save. Use Audacity. It's a free downloadable software. Okay. Or Viral Loop on an iPhone. Whenever there are moments when everything seems to stand still or feeling stagnant, little activity, there's optimum time to re-listen to your, yeah, absolutely, Callie. Yeah, listen to your script. You wake up, you feel crappy, listen to your script. You just gone through a hard time, listen to your script. You might not feel like pushing play, but how much easier can it be? One finger, boom, play, and it puts you back in that state. All right? God bless you too. All right, thank you. Thank you. I love that you're committed. Okay, Bridget's committed to do it in the next 24 hours. Do it, do it, do it, you know, as the Italians like to say. Okay, are you going to put the repeat on this webinar after you finish? Absolutely. I will do that. Yes, yes. I would suggest go back, listen to it again. All right, Sandra's on the call too. Love to you, Karen. I appreciate you guys. All right, happy to have you here. Look, if you want to stay in this study, there is a link there for the Way to Riches. If you're not in the Way to Riches program, get in there. I get into it in more details. There's so much good stuff there. I've even created some recordings for you. So I do recommend that. Stay in the study. Stay investing in yourself. Just right on this page, if you're watching this page, I know some of you are on the live. You don't see the link that's there, waytoriches.com. All right, you want to stay in the study. You want to keep at it. Way to Riches. I do go into more detail. I give you samples. I give you the guidelines in the Way to Riches program. Okay, guys? All right, my pleasure to be here to serve you. All right, I wish you great success. So happy to have you here. So happy you're committed. All right, now go and do it. Okay. And of course, I like to say, have fun with it. All right. I'm grateful for you guys too. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to serve. All right. Thanks, Susan. Happy to see that you're listening to it a couple times a day. You're very welcome. I love you guys too. Thank you. Tips on script for goal writing of a book. Yeah, write down as if you're already a successful author. Hey, Carolyn's here. Awesome. All right, just write out as if you're already a successful author. If you want to be a New York Times bestselling author, script it. Write it out as if you're already there. Hey, Jane, happy to have you here. God bless you too. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, everyone. Let me go to the place where I can end our session, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.